Welcome everybody to tonight's spring concert with the Faribault High School Orchestras. Thank you very much for being here. It's great to see everybody out tonight. My name is Mr. Sloan, Michael Sloan, and obviously I'm the director here. And we have Hannah Lysa here as our student teacher, and so grateful to have her helping and teaching and directing. I'm going to just spend a minute here as our students are getting set up. Tonight is senior recognition night, so later I will be recognizing seniors for their contributions and hard work. That was the Falcon Orchestra we just heard, doing a great job. I mean, with such a small group, playing Mozart is not easy. It is very revealing to play Mozart. It's very difficult. It's probably some of the harder music to play for orchestras. Even though it sounds easy, it's not easy. So they did a great job. Congratulations to Falcon Orchestra. Good work. Yes, we can give them a hand. Very nice. Our first piece we're going to play is called A Pirate's Legend. This is a full orchestra piece with, we have flutes, clarinets, bassoon, saxophone, tuba, lots of, I can't forget trombone, trumpet, French horn, percussion. Thank them for being here. They kind of don't have to be here, so I'm really grateful that they came in and are playing. This is, we played this at Big Nine, and we had a great time at Big Nine. It was a fantastic event. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you saw it last year because it was here at Faribault. Next year, it is at Northfield, so not as far of a trip as going to Mayo High School. So come see that next spring. But this is A Pirate's Legend. well, here's the time I want to recognize our seniors because really they are, in a lot of ways, the heart of the orchestra. I mean, staying here, being in this class for what? So what do we think? From fourth grade, some of you? Raise your hand if you were in orchestra in fourth grade. Put your bow up in the air. As seniors, I'm talking about. Yes, that's incredible. Yes, we did have fourth grade orchestra here. We need to have it back. That would be really the best thing. I don't have much control over that, but it would be a benefit to the students because these are hard instruments. They take a lot of years to get good at them, to build the dexterity, to do the repetition. And they make different size instruments, so that's what's helpful. You know, they don't make different size trombones. That's why it's hard to start kids when they're 3 years old. But we can start students at 3 years old. In fact, I wonder if anybody in the audience was here when they had kindergarten orchestra. That was Diane Olson did that. I don't know if she's here or not. She might be here, but she did kindergarten through 12th, I think, orchestra. Anyway, I'm going to start with the seniors. I'm going to call their name and have them come up and roast them. I'm going to talk about them here. So, first is Gabby Bovers. Come on up. You're the next contestant. I want to say it's been a pleasure having Gabby in orchestra since 6th grade. Does that sound right? You can all come on up, so she's not by herself. Seniors, come on up. Put your instruments down. Gabby is a tremendous human being with a humble attitude and just helpful and continues to attend consistently in orchestra. So I value having her here. I'm going to miss her, and it's been our conversations are very deep often and fruitful, and so it's nice. It's going to be a bittersweet to have her go. So here's your congratulations. Okay, you're next. Okay. Right now, or?
Us seniors also said we were going to say something about Mr. Sloan too after we got a medal because, he thinks he can roast us, but we also have to roast him. So, I just wanted to start off by saying that Mr. Sloan is just an amazing teacher. Yeah, all of our conversations we have just been so loving and just so caring, and he's always just been a person who's just always been there for me through everything. Even though I'm not the best at the violin and he thinks I'm better than I am, he still encourages me to come every single day and still to get better, and I don't know, it wouldn't be the same having orchestra without Mr. Sloan, and he just consistently just makes this a fun atmosphere and just helps us to really become better every single day. And so thank you, Mr. Sloan, for having me. I'll miss you, I hope you'll miss me, and it's gonna be good.
Finn Larson is next. Finn is just the model orchestra student in not even so much as playing. I mean, he definitely is one of the best players, and but his consistency, it's just a rare combination of talent and being consistent, just attending class. I mean, I don't know if you missed a class other than being sick, and it seems to hit you pretty hard when he gets sick, but he's just, for a senior that's always there, he just doesn't miss and is always prepared for class. And I've seen him over this past year grow quite a bit in his playing and just relax a bit more and being confident with his playing and himself. And it's such a great thing to witness. So I'm grateful for you, Finn, and wish you best of luck at U of M Duluth. Yes, congratulations.
Hello everyone. So I've known Mr. Sloan for quite a while, like over 8 years I think, and I can confidently say that he's the best teacher I've ever had. From playing in that little closet they call an orchestra room at Roosevelt, to now me auditioning for a college orchestra. You've been there all along the way. I want to thank you for that.
Gabby Temple is next. Again, fourth grade. Was that Lincoln? Lincoln Elementary. I tried my hardest to find the photos from Lincoln. I couldn't find it. So Gabby Temple is just an excellent human being, also in both choir and orchestra, doing double duty. Very consistent person, player. I mean, his doesn't quit when things get difficult and does hard things. And that's such a good lesson for all the younger students here, to do those hard things even when you don't want to. And she's just a model student, so I'm going to miss you, Gabby. You're just, again, a great human being. So congratulations. You're kicking me out.
Hello. I've known Mr. Sloan since fourth grade, and he's really a great teacher. And when I was at solo ensemble, I was really nervous, and he was right there by my side trying to calm me down. And I'm really gonna miss his class, and he's just a really good teacher.
Thank you, Gabby. Mason Sterling is next, and he is another one, I think, fourth grade, right? I had a picture of him, but his head was behind a music stand, so I couldn't put it up there. But he doesn't look a whole lot different, just about 4 feet taller than he was back then. Oh, I don't mean that to be insulting, but Mason's a great student. I mean, again, a senior that shows up consistently and makes an effort to learn his instrument and learn the music. And it's just a humble person. I mean, he does these things and doesn't talk very much, but he gets the job done, and is, just, again, another fine example. And I wish him the best of luck in the future, and for his basketball team, the Timberwolves, that they will continue on and beat the Golden State Warriors. Sorry for the Golden State fans out there, but you should have worn your jersey maybe tonight. Luckily it's not tonight, or he might not have shown up. So congratulations, Mason. You're talking too?
Thanks for being a great teacher for the last 9 years and putting up with me through that time. And thanks for talking with me after class about basketball.
I didn't know they were going to talk like this, so it's great. Keep doing it, but I was not in my plans. So, Angel, just another great person and artist in many ways, just not just musically, but also drawing and artwork, and just did our program cover last year. Last winter, I think she did our program cover. So, known Ange a long time, have good memories of her and pictures, and she's been through this the whole time. I just appreciate it. She went to Dorian Camp. Did you do 2 years? 2 years Dorian, yeah. Down in Iowa at Luther College. So she's just a remarkable person, and I'm going to miss her and her positive spirit too. Congratulations. I don't have any tissues.
That's okay. I'm not that good at public speaking, and I'm so emotional right now, but I'm very thankful for Mrs. Sloan for just pushing me, giving me motivation for my artistic journey, and just keeping me up to pursue and art and all of that. I'm gonna miss you.
Breonna Ferris? What's wrong with that? Breonna. Okay, sorry. Brianna. I'm from Philadelphia. I say Breonna. I say water, not water. Anyway, Bree, congratulations. Fourth grade? Were you with me for a little bit? Fourth grade. Bree, again, she's like Finn, did not miss a class, has made an effort. I've seen her grow musically the past couple of years, from playing very timid to being confident in her playing. it's been great having her. I know it would have been a lot easier probably just to stop playing and maybe do something else, but I've enjoyed having her and her spirit in class. And she's a great person. So, Bree, congratulations. This is for you.
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Sloan for being an amazing teacher and helping me with all the music that I struggled with.
Maddie Wellborn, next. Maddie and I have been in the same class for a lot of years, and through good and bad. And she's another great person. I love her spirit. She can give it right back, and I can take it, and I give it right back to her. And but she's a very consistent player. She's I know earlier this year she said to me, Mr. Sloan, I'm going to make first chair. And I was hoping she would. She tried, but I think that attitude of just like, I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to make my best to achieve it. I'm going to try my best. That's an exemplary person that can do that. So I really appreciate having her all these years, and I'm going to miss the banter back and forth and her violin playing, and she contributed a lot to the orchestra. And I know if I wasn't in class that occasionally she would help out with class, and I could trust her to get things done if they needed to be. So I miss you too.
So I've had Mr. Sloan as a teacher since 4th grade at Lincoln, also from a little tiny closet that was an excuse of an orchestra room. Gabby Temple and I were rocking out the viola section, and then he convinced me to play violin, and he's helped me grow since then, and I'm very grateful.
Shanta, so glad you've been with this orchestra. It's been a long time. When were you in middle school, 6th grade? Yes, I have a picture of you, and it's been great having you here. Another consistent player. I mean, you don't miss class, so it's great, and I'd like to see you opening up, talking to people. It's great. It's been a great year for you, and appreciate having you here so much. Good job. Congratulations. That's good. Let's give the seniors a hand. Miss Hannah Lyseth is our student teacher this year, and she's from St. Olaf. Comes from a very good pedigree of orchestra programs up in Faribault. Just fantastic, like known around the country. Their middle school concerts, their students wear hockey jerseys. And Brian Cole is the director, and then, so she's a cellist and bassist from St. Olaf, so let's give her a hand. Thank you.